This is the Total Package, Lex Luger, and you are listening to Pro Wrestling for Life with Sean X-Pac Waltman.
Welcome to Pro Wrestling for Life, everybody. I'm back from WrestleMania 37. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit, and so might as well bring my co-host in right now, Nick Hausman. What's up, Nick?
Hi, Sean. Yes, happy post WrestleMania 37, man.
Thank you very much.
You go to all. You go to how was it down there this year? What was it like?
What did you say? I go to all of these?
Yeah, you go to every WrestleMania. That's what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
How was this one different? You know, than the past?
Wow, it was so crazy because usually when you get off the plane, or even like on the flight to the city,
Okay.
like it's full of people that are heading to WrestleMania 2. And, you know, then you get off the plane and it's a bunch of people in the airport. It wasn't like that. It was just like there was. So like, that was the first thing that was so different about, you know, this year's WrestleMania. It was like, it just wasn't as crowded at all. Like it was crazy how uncrowded it was.
When you hit the stage for the NWO stuff, did you feel the crowd? Or how
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, here's the thing about that. Yeah, there were only like 25,000, but there used to be a time when we'd be grateful for 25,000 people.
Sure. I guess. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, no, I guess. I mean, there was a time we couldn't drop fucking 25,000 people.
Yeah. I guess.
Barely for WrestleMania.
I guess I'm just saying, I guess, because it's like meant for 60. So it like,
sure.
As awesome as 25,000 people is, it's like not a full arena, right? Like it's still
correct.
Like third full, you know?
Correct. But like it wasn't, okay. It wasn't like the energy of a full stadium, but they brought it. The people brought it. They did their part. Okay. You know, you could tell, you could feel it. It felt good.
You seem very happy about it.
Like, I am. Oh yeah. It was amazing. Like it was just, you know, and you know, hats off to everyone that's gone out there and busted their ass and, you know, did their best to have the best match they could in front of no people, man. I just don't know how I'd have done it.
Well, we'll talk about the matches here in a little bit because I know everybody wants thoughts on some of the top bouts. But
so, but you know, like it was so nice, so nice to see wrestling in front of people again, Nick. Oh.
You sound like you just took a hot shower. You know, you feel like, okay, cleansed. All right,
absolutely.
Dipped in the waters. Well, good. Well, we're going to talk about more of the WrestleMania stuff here in literally just a couple minutes, but we got a Hall of Fame worthy show here, WrestleMania worthy show, right? We're going to talk the news here right after the news block. You're going to hear part of your conversation with the Total Package Lex Luger, and I know that this is an interview you didn't even really think was going to be able to happen, Sean.
Well, I didn't know. You know, I mean, Lex and I were friends and all that. I just didn't know like how much, you know, how eager he was to do the show.
Yeah.
You know, because like there's a lot of things that, anyways, I want to save like what we talked about for people to actually listen to the interview. I like to call them conversations, not interviews, by the way.
Yeah. So great conversation that you have here with Lex.
Yeah. So, but you know, I didn't know. That's all. And you know, man, like, you know how it is. I don't like to ask people. So
I know.
I don't like, you know, but
that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Yes. I reached out to Lex Luger and it said the invite. And Lex took it. And this is a great conversation you have with Lex. And, you know, we always try to get at least 20, 30 minutes here for the show. And anything that's beyond that 20, 30 minutes we pick for the show. This interview went like almost a little over 45 minutes. So we've got that. We've got the full-length Ric Flair interview, the Chavo Guerrero interview, all these big full-length interviews piling up right now over at the Pro Wrestling for Life Patreon page. We only have one tier. It's $5. You get all these extended interviews. You get an ad-free version of the show in audio and video form. And over the past week, Sean, I'm just about there, but over 100 episodes of X-Pac 12360 now behind the paywall. They're all gonna disappear from YouTube and audio platforms here pretty quick. So if you want all that great X-Pac 12360 content, it's over at the Pro Wrestling for Life Patreon page now.
And there are some gems in that, you know. I talked to a lot of people, a lot of friends, and like I don't know, I've talked about it before. We might have talked about this last week, but
Sure.
Yeah, just tons of really cool conversations. Some of them pretty long.
Yeah, my favorite when I was moving the archives over, there's an episode that features Joey Styles and Jesse Ventura, and I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, what an interesting tandem of people for a pro wrestling podcast that Sean got together.
Yeah. So I guess it was, we were only getting like 30 minutes with Jesse.
Okay.
And, I wanted to, at the time, have a longer show. And so we just added Joey to it. It was cool. It was because I want Joey on the show anyways, but it worked out good that we had both of them on the show.
Well, awesome. Well, and that's the thing. We like to do great pairings here. So we got Lex Luger here after the news. After Lex, you're going to hear the full retrospective conversation that you, Sean, have with other Sean, Fightful's Sean Ross Sapp. You guys look at the 1, 2, 3 kids running CHIKARA here. That'll be up a little later in the show.
Yeah, it was, and it was cool. Like when I found out that's what you want to talk about, I was like, okay, yeah, that's something that most people wouldn't choose as a topic. Yeah, but people would probably like to hear about.
Oh, dude, this is a really good conversation. So we won't give you because I think you're going to learn a lot about this interesting sliver of time in your career where you got to work with Generico and all these other great people. So we'll get to that. And then, of course, at the end of the show, Sean, the end of the playoffs for Tic-Tac-Toehold, Gerard and EJ are back. And we declare a winner this week, Gerard and EJ on Tic-Tac-Toehold.
Yeah. And, wow. Man, I was wondering if we were ever going to get to that thing.
It's a little longer, but look, there's a lot in there. So anyway, we got a banger show here today, slam banger show, as I like to say. But before we get to all this great content, Sean, top line here, WrestleMania. What was your favorite match? I guess we'll start from there. Match or moment? Is there anything that stood out to you from this year's WrestleMania?
For me, nothing came close to Bianca and Sasha.
Yeah.
That was huge. Oh my God. That was cheers to TJ Wilson for producing that also.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That was, it was, man, I felt feelings I haven't felt in a long time for a pro wrestling match.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Was it respect for your fellow wrestler? Is it because you knew?
It was just that was really important. And some people might go, "Oh, it's not Black history, it's not women's history, it's just history." No, this is historical for Black women. They usually get they usually don't get their and I'm just talking about in general.
Yeah.
Black women do not get the credit that they deserve. And to see that, and to see the, Bianca out there just like trying to hold back the tears, it's making me want to cry right now, because I know them, and I worked with Bianca down at Performance Center, and I've known Sasha for a while because I used to back when she was still in FCW,
Yeah, for sure, man.
So yeah, it's just it was so cool to see that. And, it was important, for those things. And it was a great match. It was a great main event.
It was a great main event. And you bring up a lot of really good points. I mean, having been with the company as long as you have, Sean, right? It's like such a kind of trite question. Like, did you ever think we'd get here? But I mean, like realistically, like looking at the waves you've seen happen in WWE, like, I mean, does it surprise you? Are you heartened by this kind of thing when you see this? Like, is it genuine? I think it's maybe a bigger question a lot of fans have.
I think it is. I think a lot of people there, are making an honest effort and wanting to do the right ththing. Some of them are learning as they go. But I think they did an amazing job of featuring. Bobby Lashley as the champ and retaining the championship.
Yeah, that was
remember we talked about that.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. And like last week we talked about like how you thought that it would take the wind out of Drew's sails if he wasn't able to pick this up. You cited Lex Luger, who's going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Did it still land like that to you? Do you think that this sets back Drew?
No, not like that. And I'm going to tell you why, because it wasn't the last thing people saw of the night. Like the Lex thing, SummerSlam, that was the main event, the last thing of the night. And like, so, you know, it was on first. It was a smart decision to put that match on first.
Yeah, it was really great, man. What did do you have any opinions on what happened the night after WrestleMania with T-Bar and Mace coming out to attack Drew McIntyre? Like, I don't know if that. No. Like,
just to be honest with you and everyone else watching, I didn't see it.
Okay,
I didn't see that part of Raw.
Oh well. Okay, well, Retribution is.
Dude, I'm still jet lagged. like a motherfucker.
Never mind. Well, then, back to Mania here. You talked about how much you loved Sasha and Bianca.
Yeah.
The other big match, obviously, people really loved. The only match that, like, outside of the Bianca Sasha one, felt like a Mania match to me. Edge, Daniel Bryan.
So great.
And Roman. Yeah, you loved it.
So great. Yes, and I loved the finish. Loved it.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it. Yes, Roman over strong like that. That was the right thing to do.
There's people that say that he pulled Edge on top of Daniel Bryan, and so technically Edge pinned Daniel Bryan as well.
Whatever.
Would you touch that? Would you make Edge make it? No?
Shut up.
I'm just saying. I see it all. I mean, we don't know what's happening on SmackDown as this airs. I mean,
well, technically. Shut up.
Okay. They put Jay over too. He won the Andre Memorial Battle Royal Trophy.
Oh, good for him. He deserves. Man, that guy's been doing incredible work all year, right? I can. Talking about Jey Uso, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Man, well, we talked about all the highlights here. I'll ask you about
man, like Riddle and Sheamus. I enjoyed that, and I want to give props to Sheamus because a lot of people would have risked their opponent's health instead of just coming down off of the rope like he did. Well, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. With the white noise trying to do off the top.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And instead of breaking Riddle's neck, he went down. Oh, and the match was still fine.
That's right. They had the slip there, and the corner. It was very dangerous.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people would just say, "No, I want to get my shit in," and fucking possibly broken his goddamn neck.
Well,
some people are fucking selfish like that.
Okay, well, you don't want to name names. They take it.
No.
Okay, wonderful. No. Well, you talk about a lot of stuff you like. I'll ask you about something that's kind of got mixed reviews. That's the Alexa Bliss Fiend moment there where she bleeds black blood. Do you like this kind of over the top stuff? Is this working for you right now?
No, I'm not. Like, it's just not my cup of tea, man. Some people like it, and I'm not down. Like, if you like that, that's fine. There should be room for all kinds of stuff. I just didn't like how it was done, and I'm a big fan of both of those guys.
Yeah. Is there anything? Yeah. Is there anything you would do differently with Fiend right now that you think would maybe
let him win?
That's good advice. You know.
I mean, simple as that, Nick. Really, it is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Rhea Ripley getting crowned there, taking the women's championship from Asuka?
Oh, good for her. Good for her. I think people knew that was going to happen, right?
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I think they want Rhea to be a heel, and she doesn't feel like a heel to me. She feels like a badass babyface to me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's true. And also, huge props, mad respect to Bad Bunny.
Oh, that's right. We gotta close with Bad Bunny here. So he delivered. You put him over last week. You thought he was going to deliver. You think?
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah. And a lot of people were thinking the same thing as I was about not being sure everyone was going to just react to him as a babyface, right?
Right.
Wrong. The people were all in with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
I noticed. Yeah. And they had a hell of a match. I was really happy for Priest. Everyone knows. Well, I don't know if everyone knows, but, I'm a big supporter of his. And he did great. It's a shame they did the stuff they did with them next night on Raw, but.
So you did see that?
I heard. Okay. I didn't need to see it.
Okay.
God, they just insist on doing shit like that. Hey, so I've been trying to cut down on carbs, sugar, unhealthy foods, and realize I basically can't eat anything anymore, man.
Yes, I know.
It's really like that.
You're getting ready for a big in-ring return. You got to be in prime shape right now.
Yeah, and I like to eat healthy. I like to eat clean.
Yep.
I like to keep my carbs to a minimum, and we have Magic Spoon.
Yeah, man, Magic Spoon. I love this. It's a great cereal. They sent us the variety pack, which is what we're going to get to the promo here in a second. But I mean, you got the fruity cereal, the frosted cereal, the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the thing is they told us when they sent us the cereal, they're like, mix the chocolate and the peanut butter, make yourself a little peanut butter cup cereal. Dude,
I still haven't tried that one yet.
Dude, it's so good. But that's the thing is like we've had a chance to actually try this. And like you hear this and you're like, okay, it's got 0 grams of sugar. It's 13 to 14 grams of protein, right? Keto friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free.
That's the impressive part is like for a bowl of cereal to have 13 to 14 grams of protein. That's insane, man. That's a lot of protein. And there's, like you said, 0 grams of sugar and like only 140 calories per serving.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing is, so like you hear all this stuff, right? And you're like, health food stuff, right? Health food stuff is weird and not always tastes good. I mean, we can both vouch, Sean, this is like a really delicious, guilt-free cereal for adults. I mean, this is really good stuff.
Yeah, but regardless, it still feels like I'm doing something wrong when I eat it.
I know.
I can't believe it feels like I'm having a cheat meal or something.
Right.
You know, honestly.
But you shouldn't feel that way, Sean. You shouldn't feel guilty. That's the whole point of this. It's a guilt-free cereal. Magic Spoon, you get to eat this thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, I think I'm over it, Nick. Because I love Magic Spoon, man. Like, it's the best. Like, honestly, if they weren't sponsors, after being turned on to it, I'd be ordering it, you know?
Well, yeah.
What? For sure, man.
There's always time to order more. And that's the thing is we've got a great promo code for anybody out there who's listening and they want to try Magic Spoon like you did. And you loved it, Sean.
Yes. So, like, if you want to try Magic Spoon, I highly recommend it. Go to magicspoon.com/PRO to grab a variety pack and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code PRO at checkout to save $5 off your order.
Yeah, and look, Magic Spoon's so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. I was literally told if you open it and you try it and you don't like it, you can pour it back into the box in anger, slap a sticker on it, shoot it to UPS, and they will give you your money back, Sean.
Okay. Yeah, but guess what?
What?
I wouldn't be wanting my money back because like honestly, that variety pack will be gone within 2 days, 2 or 3 days. I know that seems ridiculous, but I go through a lot of food. I eat like a horse, Nick. It's insane how much I eat. People look at me and they go, I can't believe you eat that much. You're not fat.
Yeah, I know. Well, you're a very good shape. You're Magic Spoon.
Yeah, so remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/PRO and use the promo code PRO to save $5 off your order.
Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Yes, Magic Spoon. Thank you very much. Hey, as far as your time in the Horsemen, Lex, I thought you brought a lot to the Horsemen. I thought like you're looking at you were a horse. Like to me, like I thought you fit in perfect with those guys.
Yeah, the timing of it was really good. They wanted some muscle because they were going up against the Road Warriors and the Kita and a lot of big guys. So they felt like as good as Ole was, they obviously one of the greats and originals and great worker, but they wanted to have something kind of a muscle guy amongst the four. So the timing of that was once again for me golden opportunity to go in there and work with those guys right on top right off the my gosh, unbelievable.
Yeah, but Lex, you weren't just a muscle guy. Like you dressed nicely, you had the look, and you were really you were sharp, man. Like,
well, that was all
smart.
Flair and Dusty behind the scenes, telling me what to say and do and dressing. Flair, I tell Flair now, we joke all the time. By the way, to have me on, following up the Nature Boy Ric Flair. I know you've got a huge litany of big stars you can call upon. I'm honored to be on one of your earlier shows and be a part of this. It's really cool. But speaking of the Nature Boy, he took me under his wing, man. When I saw him that first time in Daytona, when we talked about Florida, I said, man, I want to be like Rick. He got out of that limo with the Rolex and the custom suit and the alligator shoes. And I said, man, I said, I want to be like him. And Rick really took me under his wing at the Horseman, told me images, everything. He told me what kind of car to buy, where to buy my suits, custom made suits, where to get my robes made. And I wanted to be literally like Rick. I said, Rick, you ruined me. I go, you were my role model. And he laughs. We have a great time with that now.
Well, I mean, one of the cool things of you always had a presidential Rolex. I remember.
Oh, that was Nate. She said, if you're going to buy a watch, but I went in the shop for him, Sean, and I went in the store and I said, man, how much are these? And at the time they were like 20 grand or something.
Yeah.
With the diamonds on them. They're probably more than that now. Haven't shopped for Rolex in a long time, but the salesman must have seen me coming a mile away. He goes, I go, man, 20,000 watch. I asked the dumbest question. I go, do they keep good time? And the sales guy had a great line ready for me in my massive ego time. He goes, Lex, you're a big star. And he goes, if you can afford this watch, you don't need to know what time it is. You ain't punching a time clock.
Yep.
He had me sold at that. I was like, okay, I got to have one of these. Oh my gosh.
When I was traveling with you, like when I first came, like, I'm like full disclosure to everyone watching and listening. Like, we tried to do this the other day, but there was technical difficulties.
Right.
Lex was nice enough to reschedule, but
and
like
buy a pair of headphones for $19.95 from Amazon. Thanks, Nick.
But like, Lex, you were incredibly good to me. Like when I first got to WWF, right? Like I couldn't rent a car, and you kind of took me in. Like, hey, you could travel with me. Like, you don't have to worry
you were
about.
old. It'd be, what was the age then? 25 to rent a car, something crazy.
Yeah. I was 20.
Yeah. Well,
plus I wasn't making any money.
It was one of those things Matsuda taught me as well, to be honest with you, Sean.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed our time together, but Matsuda always told me to give the new guys and the locker room a hand up if you can, and I'm traveling on the road and everything. Kind of in Florida, I learned that, and it was something that I thought we're all kind of supposed to do. And so Flair taught me, hey, don't, which I got kind of heat for some of my image with some of the guys out. Flair told me, stay at a nice hotel, don't rent a mid-sized car, rent a Cadillac. So I had a nice car and room and I was traveling. So I'm like, hey, Sean, want to jump in with me? We had fun. It was great. You were a great company. Went to the gym and worked out. And it's fun to have somebody to hang out with. So I think I got as much or more out of it than you do. Now I've learned in my life, it truly is much better to serve others and give than to receive. So, man, I really enjoyed our time together.
Oh, it was great. It was great. Like the reason I brought it up right now, though, because we're talking about Rolex, is like I was dying to get a Rolex.
Oh my God.
Oh, I wanted to keep up with the Joneses so bad.
And did you?
I ended up getting one off of Eddie Sharkey that he got from, like, if you got something from Eddie Sharkey, chances are it was stolen. But it was an old actual quartz model. Like Rolex made a quartz Model 2, but it had the clicking second hand. Yeah. So everyone thought it was fake.
Instead of the sweeping, yeah.
Yeah, everyone thought it was fake.
But it was actually a Rolex. That's good.
Yeah, but then I got one later on when I started actually making money. But
yeah.
Oh my God, it was so important to me at the time.
Oh yeah, image. Flick Flair told me image is everything.
Yeah.
He told everything car I bought, spent a bunch of money on, or a big house. I always had Ric Flair ring my ears, Lex, image enhancement. So I always justified it with that. He gave me the rationalization to do it.
Hey, Lex. Hey, can we talk about WBF for a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Am I right in saying that like you came into the that was your way of coming into WWF?
That was a
right?
1-year contract with WBF.
Yeah.
With
and
Vince.
it was that a way to give you guaranteed money when other people weren't making guguarantees?
Well,
How was
it was a way to, if I was going to forego the money I left on the table at WCW, it was a way to segue me with a year off, which I had to take. I had a little over a year left on my WCW contract that I agreed to WCW not to wrestle. So it was a way to getting around the wrestling and make a living involved with wrestling, but do it through the WBF. So it actually was kind of a win-win for me, and it was a way for Vince to kind of lock me into a contract. You know, I didn't sign my wrestling contract. We knew as soon as the WBF contract was up in a year that I was going to obviously sign a wrestling contract. So that was the deal we worked out. So that worked out really, really well.
Was there ever any serious consideration of you doing a bodybuilding show?
I was going to be a guest poser. I had that motorcycle wreck, but I was going to do like a guest posing. I couldn't have gotten stage, but those guys were top like bodybuilders. But I was going to do like a guest pose, kind of a fun thing with that, which I was looking forward to. I'd never been able to stay home and like really train and diet hard. So you know what a workout fanatic I was. That was like a really fun time. But I was disappointed that I missed out on actually doing that guest pose, because I show people the picture all the time. I did it on social media. So people ask me about what was in your picture when you thought you were in the best peak condition ever. And I show them a photo right before I had the motorcycle wreck, close to that guest posing I was going to do. That I go, that was me being able to stay home and eat right. That was the best shape I was ever in my life, for sure.
They had a few guys like that were actually great. Like to me, Gary Stridham was the top heavyweight bodybuilder at the time.
Oh, he was the best in the world at the time. Vince had Vince signed those guys up that were they were the top guys without a doubt in the world of bodybuilding, for sure.
It was just crazy though. Like by the time the first show ran around, all of a sudden WBF was drug testing, and like, man, what a difference, huh? Like Gary Stridham didn't look like he followed the rules though. Yeah,
it was really hard on the guys to go through the drug testing.
That. Yeah.
I mean, to go all of a sudden like that from the PEDs to nothing, and the drug testing was legit. As you know,
you damn
when
right.
we were first in WWE, people ask me all the time, the WWE drug testing when I was there was, I mean, sometimes they do us 3 nights in a row. It was the real deal. Vince was going through that trial all the time. He wanted no part of anything with his crew, his wrestlers, any kind of PEDs. So we were heavily tested. I know you remember that.
You damn right. Because remember they had Dr. Mauro Di Pasquale?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to hang on to whatever muscle I could when we were that couple years when I was in WWE with Alexis Wrestling. I was drug free. I mean, that was at the time I thought was brutal to go off and have to go. That was a big adjustment for me at the time as well.
That's almost like honestly, Lex, that's almost inhumane, man. Like to do that to guys, like to just make guys just cold turkey. Like I know what that feels like.
Yeah, it was hard on the guys.
Test levels to go down like that.
Not that we're going to get a pity party for taking illegal drugs from anybody out there, but at the time, as we know medically, it's hard to just come off definitely cold turkey. It's a big adjustment on the body, your endocrine system, all that goes out of balance. So it was tough on the guys for sure. Those who did take PEDs.
You weren't really like, you weren't a big, like, you know, I know like a lot of people might think you were like a big steroid guy or whatever, but like you didn't really use that much.
I took PEDs, but I had
the dosage were nothing.
I had a agent who was had his doctorate in the medical field, and he always did my blood work and always made me clear on and off. He always tried to tell me less was more. So if there is a safe way to take PEDs, I was monitored, never was on a big stack of stuff or a really large doses, but I definitely did use PEDs. It was so prevalent at the time. So I mean, it would have been great if none of us did, and we were all on a level playing field that way as well. But that was the reality of the day back in the day. And so that's what we did.
And the thing is, a lot of people don't understand. Like, you can see one guy and you think he's on a ton of shit, and you see another guy and he just looks like whatever. The guy that just looks could be taking 10 times more gas than
you never know. I know guys.
Yeah.
I know guys that were on like some of those island boys are just so strong. I mean, genetically, they're just so gifted. Those guys walk into a gym without ever doing a PED in their lives. Some of those island boys and bench like 450 pounds when they're teenagers without ever touching anything. So yeah, a lot of it is definitely genetics for sure.
Oh, for sure.
No doubt.
Hey, Flexer, how did you like the narcissist gimmick?
I loved it.
Did you?
I would have loved to have. I always loved being a heel at the time. I think it kind of fit my personality more because I never lacked confidence in myself. So I always found it a little easier to be an arrogant heel, and I do think it's much easier. I don't know if you're making people psychologically hate you than it does have them love you. The wrestling fans are kind of picky and they want to learn to trust you. And really, I think it's easier to get people to hate you, and you can be a little more outlandish and maybe have a little more fun with your character as a heel. Yeah, I did both a lot of my career, but I loved the narcissist, and I really thought it could have been a really fun character to let it flesh out.
Yeah, it was a fun gimmick. I just and before we talk about that, like one of the things I laughed about is when you were a narcissist and you worked with Kurt at WrestleMania 9.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been in there with him when it's like, where are we? And you think are you serious? Like,
one of the best workers everywhere. I'm glad you backed me up on that.
Yeah.
Once in a while, too much caffeine or whatever, and he'd get in there like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm like, man, I was sitting around that day, WrestleMania debut, Caesar's Palace. I was back there with my legs crossed. I was a chip, but man, I got Kurt Hennig to lead me through this match. He's going to make me look like $1 million, me, myself, and I back then. And I got in the ring. I didn't really think about anything we talked about in the back because, well, Kurt's going to talk me through this. He's going to lead me right through. He got in there locked up. I knew he was a guy who did a lot of ribs. I thought when we locked up initially, he was ribbing me because he did that. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I thought, oh, come on. He goes, no, what are we doing? What are we doing? I had to try to call the match. I didn't really put the kind of time and energy and thought I normally would have if I was playing more of a role in either leading the match or knowing a lot of the spots because I thought Kurt was going to call everything because in the back, because I got this, don't worry, I'll lead you right through it. He completely blanked out. I was, oh my gosh. Unbelievable.
That happened with Kurt sometimes. And I was just, and he's one of the greatest.
We all was totally apologetic afterwards. Man, I'm so sorry because we probably didn't have as good a match as we would have had if Kurt was, where he normally would be at as far as knowing all the spots and everything. I was just sort of calling on the fly. I wasn't the greatest. I just learned how to call a match really from Ricky Steamboat before I came to WWE. I was always led by Flairs and them, and told everything to do in the ring. So, let's just do this and hit and flex a lot, so and bounce those pecs. But I just really learned to call a match properly. And boy, that was nerve-wracking when I got in there with my debut in WrestleMania and Mr. Perfect, and I had to call the match. Oh my gosh. But Kurt was such a great guy.
Awesome.
And such a talent, such a fun guy to be around. He was totally apologetic. I go, don't apologize. I go, we got through it just fine, Kurt.
Some of the best times in my life.
You saw it. I'm glad you backed me up in that. People think I'm kidding sometimes that he blanked out.
No.
They thought he was ribbing. No, he blanked out.
Yep. And also at the time, he was a babyface, and he hated being a babyface. He hated it.
He did.
He fought it like you would not believe.
He was kind of ahead of his time. He was kind of that arrogant, talented wrestling heel. He was almost really ahead of his time with his character and personality. Oh my gosh. In the Attitude Era and into the 2000s, he would have been, oh my gosh, what a fit, right? Wow.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, Lex, I came in right around the same time that you did the big, thing with Yoko on the Intrepid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second biggest slam I've been reminded ever in wrestling, besides Andre and Hogan.
Okay.
The second biggest, yeah.
Yeah, but yours was more difficult.
Mine was
reach
slam
down
around the world, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, Sean, that wasn't more difficult. We did a walkthrough the week before. They didn't allow me to slam Yoko because they didn't want him to get hurt. I'm the one lifting 627 pounds, and he didn't want him to get hurt. So I was so nervous. I didn't have good footing when I got in that ring there.
Yeah.
I had cowboy boots on, and Yoko calmed me down and said, "Don't worry, I got this. Just get a wide base." He literally, I just got a good base and helped turn him. But Yoko, as you know, I called him the dancing bear. He was those island boys, so athletic and like born to wrestle. He literally almost slammed himself off of me getting a good base and helped turn him just a little bit. He was that agile. I was so relieved after that. Wow. He was unbelievable.
Hey, that worked. That freaking worked, Lex. That thing worked. You got instantly.
Oh, the crowd reaction, the Manhattan skyline in the background, and the surprise that we had with me coming down and pushing Bobby Heenan out of the way. The setup to that whole thing was great. One of the great moments I always remember in my career, for sure.
That was one of the things that they asked me about when I was talking about you for the Network Icon special they're doing on you. And to me, in my opinion, is like that whole thing would have worked great. Like, I just think they needed to let you come through at SummerSlam, and like it didn't happen. And I mean, they even had balloons come down. It's like, come on, man.
A lot of people felt that way. That it would have been better to at least show a result, even if I turned the belt over him the following night on Raw.
Yeah,
and got Yoko heat on Yoko. He did something to me to win it back or something. They felt that with that big a build up, you kind of as a baby face almost half.
You did have
come
to
through us. It lets all the air out of your tires, literally on the Lex Express. So a lot of people felt that way. I enjoyed the opportunity, obviously, and it was a great promotion. But a lot of people thought it might have been more beneficial if you're going to still go with Yoko, to have the babyface win and have Yoko win it right back or something. Might have been good. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I thought for sure.
But Vince, and defense of Vince and the decision makers at the time, Vince was really big. You know how much the Garden meant to Vince, right?
Sure.
Madison Square Garden used to stand at the curtain the whole time. Yep. Vince told me, he never promised me the title, but Vince felt Lex, Vince and I had a great relationship. If I want to put the title on you, rather than do a SummerSlam, I'd rather wait and do it at WrestleMania 10 at Madison Square Garden. He had that in his head that if you're going to be my guy, I'm going to put the belt on you as babyface and give you a run with it. I'd rather do it. And then things happened after that, and he ended up putting in Brett, who was a great champion at the time. Yep. So that didn't work out, but that really was, why did they not give him the belt? That really was Vince's thinking. I'll get everything revved back up for WrestleMania, and what a way to coronate Lex as my champion if that's the way we decided to go in WrestleMania 10. That was kind of a little back story to that whole thing.
I mean, I get where he's coming from with that.
Right.
Like, then they shouldn't have set you up with the SummerSlam thing to setting you up to fail.
Well, at least not let the balloons come down.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what I remember, Lex? You know what I remember? Like, okay, when it looked like, okay, maybe they're going to go with Brett now. Like the way you handled that, you were so gracious about all that. You didn't boo-boo face. You didn't walk around pouting. Like, you were really cool and really professional about all of it.
Number one, I was very confident it wasn't going to ruin my career. Here I had a great tour. I was a main event in WrestleMania 10, one of the main event matches. So I was like, well, okay. And plus, don't forget, we thought I was going to do a real long-term angle for what long-term angles were the longer back then with Kurt Hennig. And then end up the contract negotiation with Kurt didn't come through. But I thought, wow, now I'm going to really get to work with Kurt. So they had what they hoped was a storyline with Kurt and I refereeing the match and doing the quick count and everything. So they had a pretty good storyline for me coming out of that WrestleMania 10 with Kurt which unfortunately didn't work out, but they had a good storyline coming out of that. Yeah. And obviously Yoko and Brett, that was a good storyline.
It was.
But really WrestleMania 10, Shawn and Razor, they stole the show.
They stole the show.
Match, my gosh.
They stole the show and stole other people's time.
Whoa, that was unbelievable, man.
Hey, I had a brain fart. I really enjoyed you and Davey teaming. Well, because I mean, like, just besides the fact that it was a good fit, but like, I just really enjoyed both of you as human beings too. So that made it even better for me.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. A lot of fun traveling together. Travel him and Owen, the masters of the rib.
Yes.
They ribbed me. So I was on the
remember overseas.
Oh my gosh! Wow, non-stop those guys. I laughed so hard. I skipped all my ab work for 6 months traveling with those two guys because I laughed so hard. It was unbelievable. They had me arrested coming out of an arena, pulling out of the arena. They got somehow Owen and them talked the cops into cooperating with it. I don't know how they did that. They got me so good so many times. Oh my gosh, unbelievable! So funny.
Hey, so do you remember you're in a tag match with those guys you call it press slam, and then Owen deadweights you on the press slam.
No getting me up.
Then Davey comes in.
Davey comes in and does 10 reps with Owen. Owen has this, they do it facing me with Davey smiling and Owen with his head turned like this, smiling at me the whole time. Oh, those guys, unbelievable.
And like one time you go to lock up with him and he just falls on the ground and you're just like looking down at him. Like,
and lays in the mat with his arms in. And you can't pick him up. And you try to pick him up.
And then
he was unbelievable.
And then the one time, like, I think it might have been the same match. He's got you on the floor and he just wrapped you up with about 50 feet of cable. Tied up.
Non-stop working with inside and outside of the ring with those guys. You used to put pennies. You used to have the hotel keys. You put your key in to get in the door of your hotel room.
Yeah.
I'd go to the gym. Owen would put pennies in the slot so I couldn't get back in my room. Oh, yeah. He was
actually it wasn't
stop.
Don't ask me why I know this, but it actually wasn't pennies, it was dimes because pennies wouldn't actually fit in the slot, only dimes.
Oh, well, were you a part of that, Sean?
No, not One time I did it to Luna though, because we were on the bus like in Germany, and I was drinking with Arnie Skolin. Arnie came on the tour with us.
Oh, good old Arnie. Used to play cards with him. What a guy.
And I passed out and woke up. We got to the building and everyone's like looking at me, laughing, taking pictures. I see myself in the mirror. I got like a Hitler mustache painted on me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, with the Sharpie marker. And I found out it was
Sharpie rib. Yeah.
Yeah. I found out it was Luna. And so I get
my gosh, yeah.
Diamond.
I was on the bus when she did it. Sorry I didn't stop her. Sorry.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh my gosh.
These are great stories.
Don't ever fall asleep in an airplane or a bus. Don't try to even catch a nap, right?
Yeah. Did you ever get ribbed like that though? Anyone shave an eyebrow?
I never got Sharpied. I was fortunate. I didn't have any real, most of my ribs are hilarious and good at, like Owen would get me one time. I was at a diner in Newark near the airport, and Owen put some Gillette like foamy, that gel on my windshield. Yes. It was real cold outside. And it was a freezing cold day. So they were in the diner first. I come out of the diner. I'm thinking, what's this on my windshield? I get in the car. It's freezing cold. I turn it on and turn on the squirters with the windshield wipers, and it foams up and freezes. I can't even drive back to the hotel. So I'm trying to get off the stuff off my windshield. It wouldn't come off. I was so mad at him when I got back to the hotel. I wanted to fight him. Oh my gosh. He was unbelievable. The stuff he thought of. Man, good times.
Yeah, they were amazing times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I remember, I'm like, all these memories are coming back now, Lex. I remember one time we were staying together and it was like in San Francisco and we were all like having a good time and, drinking and doing whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like all of a sudden a big takedown tournament breaks out. Like Kurt, you like.
Kurt always started those takedown things. He'd want to take on the Steiners and oh my gosh.
And then,
he was fearless. Kurt was fearless.
Oh yeah. The funniest part of that night was like when I was going on, for some reason, Scott Razor comes up behind you, and you did something. You probably didn't even know what you're doing, and like you,
I don't.
all of a sudden you hear him go, oh, and Scott's laying on the ground. Like I don't know what you did. You flipped him or something.
It must have been Stinger called it my Herman Munster. I'm going way back here. My Herman Munster strength. I must have had an adrenaline surge. I sure didn't know any wrestling moves. That's for sure.
Damn.
And one other Owen. I was in a tag match against the Undertaker. Owen and I.
Yeah.
Owen, we're getting towards the end of the heat to go home. And Owen said, hey, let's put our bags in the car so we can get back to the hotel and shower back there. I'm like, well, why don't we just shower? He goes, we're going to put our bags in the car and we're just going to go shower at the hotel. So I didn't know what Owen had literally up his sleeve. He had cucumbers in his knee pads.
Oh, Undertaker. Yeah.
Hates. It's like his kryptonite. It's like Superman's kryptonite. Owen got a rear chin lock on him right before we went home and rubbed that cucumber all in Taker's face and nose. Taker was so ticked off. We ran from the ring back to the car. I was so mad at Owen again. I go, Taker is gonna kill us. We ran to the car and scurried back to the hotel before Taker because he was the baby face and they won the match. So we had to get Owen had it all set. We get to the car and out of the parking lot before Taker came to the back because he was in the car. He kicked both our butts.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
That reminds me. It's almost the exact same scenario, but I was traveling with Owen in Canada, and he was working with Brett, and he put a can of sardines under the ring. And during the heat, he rolled out and rubbed sardines all over his hand, grabbed Brett in the rear chin lock and rubbed it all in his face. And by the time, like when the match was over, Brett would go and do the thing with the people for 5 minutes. And while he was doing that, Owen had his bag ready and out the door.
Oh my gosh. He was, people don't think that sounds really dumb, but he was so creative with that stuff. I'm like, where do you get these ideas? I don't know. They just pop into my head. Oh, he was something else.
And Brett hated it when Owen ribbed him, and he just kept doing it.
Brothers, right? Brothers.
Yes.
Good stuff. It goes into what we talk about when we look back at it now, the memories in the ring and the big matches and the titles and all that stuff, but then the camaraderie and the fun we had on the road. It was just truly, truly special. Truly special.
Hey, so Lex, I'm pretty sure we were actually even traveling together at this time, but I think it was we were up in the Maritimes or something, right? And then
I always got on those the New Brunswick and Monktons and I remember those trips.
I was driving the car with you, and we almost hit a moose. It was like a moose in the road. And
I jinxed us. We stopped at a rest stop. It was after dark, and the state troopers.
I got a ticket.
The troopers said, "Hey, you guys, be careful out here. Watch out for the moose." And me being who I was back then, I was, yeah, right, guys, right. Watch out for the moose. And the trooper looked at me and goes, "No, you hit one of those moose,
you're done.
You'll be going back to the States in a body bag." and because those things are ginormous, and we almost hit one. That was because it got real foggy there too. You're driving after dark, like a 3-hour trip through those islands with fog and moose on the road. Yeah. My gosh, unbelievable. Yeah, I remember that. Sean.
We had a pretty good time in Moncton usually when we were there. That was that bar called Ziggy's.
Oh yeah, there were some good little like pubs, like almost like UK British type pubs and things. Yeah, that was a good town.
And I don't think it was that Maritimes trip, but like it was either that one or another one. And we get home, and next thing you know, there you are on the first episode of Nitro. No one would like. You didn't like.
They had to back me out of their syndicated shows in WWE. I was on their show the following Monday, and I was in Moncton on Sunday.
Yeah,
I had a tag match against Sean and Razor, and then the next night I was in Minneapolis and walked out.
Yeah, and I saw you there too.
But Bischoff and Sting.
Yeah, I saw you there. I saw you there too because I was living there at the time, and I went to the Marriott and saw you at the hotel. I was happy for you. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. I had some misgivings at the time because the way I had to leave without giving notice, and I had such a good relationship with Vince. Contrary to popular opinion, my whole time there, he had me in his home, and we worked out together. So to leave. The one stipulation Eric had, because by then the internet was just starting to blossom, not like today's social media by any stretch of imagination, but it was hard to keep a secret. So Eric wanted it to be totally secret to leave, because I was still negotiating on a handshake to stay at WWE, and for me to walk out there and not give any notice to Vince. I looking back now, I wish I hadn't done that. I did what I thought was best at the time for my career, me, myself, and I. But hopefully if I'd done it again, I wouldn't have done that to Vince. I even back then felt really bad about that.
It's just, but like looking at the situation, Lex, like, would it have worked if you'd have told him?
Well, no, but it would have been the right thing to do.
You're right.
I mean, there's one of my mentors tells me, Lex, there's never a right time to do the wrong thing. There's never a wrong time to do the right thing. So I would hope now, if I could do it again, that I would have done it the right way and just said, Eric, if you don't want to bring me in, I'll just re-sign with WWE and whatever storylines have for me there, I'll renew for 2 or 3 years. Or, but I'd have to give my notice. Then I would have put it back on Eric to make the decision, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't. But so.
This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Boom.
Say it with us. Blue Chew. Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections.
Oh, yeah, man. It is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form, fraction of the cost, Yeah.
And Blue Chew tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, which is good, because if you've got ED and you want to have a hard, stiff erection, you should try Blue Chew. There's nothing wrong with that, Yep. It's an online prescription service, no visit to the doctor, no awkward conversation like, hey, will you look at my boner? Is it working?
Yeah.
You don't do that. No waiting in line. It ships right to your door, and it's in a discreet package that does not in any way say boner pills inside. It is very discreet.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine? Like you have like, oh my God, your mailman's like, hey, I got your boner pills right here.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir. Please let me hide these, and I'll shut the door now. Yes, that's how it works.
Like I wonder, especially like if maybe somebody's like trying to hide it from their girlfriend or their wives that they're taking the Blue Chew, and then it shows up. Here's your Blue Chew.
I don't want to like get you. We get sent some product here, and my girlfriend was like, "Why didn't you get Blue Chew?" And so I think that might take a little romp here with this thing soon. See if the Blue Chew is something that is just better and maybe fun for me.
Hey, here's the thing, Nick.
What's that?
Why not, man?
That's what we're that.
Yeah,
dude.
You got people go, oh, I don't need that. What do you mean? Maybe you should ask your girlfriend or wife or significant other whether they believe that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, is ask them, right? Don't try to hide it. Like, be open with your significant other. Do you want to give this thing away?
Hey, do you think I need Blue Chew?
It's a simple process. You just go over to bluechew.com, you sign up, consult with a licensed medical provider. Once you're approved, you get the prescription within days, and the best part, it's all done online. You don't have to
online.
And again, you don't have to show your genitals to anybody to get it. So
oof. Thank God no one wants to see my genitals right now. Oh, wait.
What are you hiding down there, buddy?
My dick is broken.
All right, got it.
So what's, I've told you before, like I used the Blue Chew that is like the generic version of Cialis, because that's what my doctor prescribes to me for my condition. Yeah, no, we all know about your broken dick and how Blue Chew is helping you, with your broken dick. Every tiny Tim needs a crutch, So if you have a broken dick, maybe you should get some Blue Chew too.
Absolutely, because it's Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredient, strength for your prescription. If you don't like swallowing pills, no problem. Blue Chew's sildenafil, and tadalafil tablets are chewable. They're made in the USA. They prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. So a lot of great stuff.
Yep. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use promo code PRO. Again, that's promo code PRO at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code PRO to receive your first month free. And we thank you, Blue Chew, for sponsoring this podcast. Okay, everybody. This is the segment of the show where we invite a wrestling journalist / media personality on to talk about a moment or a match from my career. And this week, joining us is Sean Sapp from Fightful. Thank you, man.
I appreciate it. It's an honor to be on,
Thanks.
and I'm super excited. I get to talk to you about your run in CHIKARA. Like, that's something that I've always wanted to know about. It was so fascinating to me because you brought back the 1, 2, 3 kid.
Yeah. Hey, you want to kind of fill in for people that aren't familiar with what we're talking about here?
Yeah. So in, like, I think it was probably 2011, you popped up at King of Trios. And you were with Team Minnesota. It was Eric Cannon and Darren Corbin, but you had the 1, 2, 3 kid gimmick. You had your face shaved. You had the gear. You had the headband, all that stuff. And I mean, maybe I could be wrong, but I think that was probably the first time since 1996 you had done that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And, like usually, Sean, I would never do that. Like, that's the past. And I look back fondly on that, but like, it's just like, like that kind of thing can be real cringy, but it just, once I learned, what CHIKARA was all about, like, man, and Quackenbush, like he had a vision on what he wanted, and he knew exactly what he wanted. Let's put it that way. And it was the CHIKARA universe, I guess we'll call it. Like, it was fascinating to me. Like, some things I didn't like about it. I don't like the slow motion spots and shit like that, but it worked in their, in their environment. But anyways.
How were you approached for it? I'm just so intrigued about that. Like, even to the point to where, were you like, okay, I got to shave my face for this?
Yeah. So yeah, he hit me up about it. And like, initially, like my knee jerk reaction is, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing it, And so then, I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, this could be really good. It could be really good for me. And like, after it was over with, I was happy I did it. I mean, they're like, my match with Generico, that's one of the, that's the last like really good singles match I ever had. So,
you put him over big after the match too, because I remember after that you contemplated retirement in front of the whole crowd because you gave this speech and you said, this might be my last year, and I couldn't think of anybody better to go out against than El Generico.
Yeah, and he was a great opponent, and it was just like they didn't even have to tell me to finish. It was just I automatically, like, he goes over in this. Like, I'm an old dude, and anyways, yeah. And the other matches that we had, it was like the tournament. This
the King of Trios.
Yeah. No, like that. It was like a light heavy. It was like a cruiserweight light heavyweight gauntlet or something like that. Right?
You did this because Amazing Red was in there and Frightmare, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah. So, and what was cool is, I got to get in there with Hakushi and Sasuke again.
Yes, and to go. Like, To-Go was in there too.
Yeah,
He's still around.
Yeah, I can't believe I left him out because Dick Togo was my very first match in Korakuen Hall, the very first time I wrestled in Japan. And we had great chemistry. He was so good in there.
So that was like a weekend of stuff. And it had probably been a while since you had worked Hakushi too, right? Because I know that you worked him a bunch that year or so that he was there in WWF.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was, for a while there, I was his main opponent. you know, like because Hakushi and I, well, his name's Shinzaki.
Yeah.
We did a tour of Japan in like '94. It was right before Hakushi got hired. He got hired after that tour because like I had a hell of a match with him, and then like he worked with Undertaker, and you know, not to go off into the weeds, but anyways, everyone was impressed with him. It was great to have him. I had great matches with him. SummerSlam '95, and a lot of people don't know this still, even though I've mentioned it many times. That's where I got the Bronco Buster from.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like I can't believe people don't remember that was one of Hakushi's moves. He would do that into the corner, but he wouldn't do the, you know, he wouldn't do all the, you know, the extra reps like I did.
So when you're doing this, I mean, it had been 15 or gosh, I think 13, 14 years since you had done the 1, 2, 3 kid thing. Was that an original 1, 2, 3 kid singlet? Did you have to have new gear made? How'd that work?
Yeah, no, I had new gear made.
It looked exactly like an old one too.
Yeah, we tried. Like I have this lady Jolene, and she makes a lot of people's gear. She's from Florida. She does a great job, and so yeah, she made it for me real quick, and it looked a lot like the older stuff the older 1, 2, 3 kid stuff I wore, and I was so sure, like, okay, I'm done with this after the show that I gave it to Colt Cabana. I gave the yeah, he has it hanging up in his studio somewhere.
So that leads me to wonder, because obviously you didn't retire after that, because you came back a year and a half later and did it again. You teamed with Aldo Montoya and Tatanka in the King of Trios. And I'll say this, they did not waste your appearances there. You were facing Jerry Lynn, Tommy Dreamer, and Scorpio. How, first off, you obviously didn't have plans to bring that gimmick back, as you said, but what did you think when they said, hey, we'd love to have you back?
You know, I had already said I'm not doing it. And like thinking back on it, Sean, I can't remember why I ended up acquiescing because I didn't want to. And it was to the point where like that second time, honestly, I didn't even shave, you know, like I was all in on the first one, not so much on the second one, just to be honest with you.
And I mean, I know that weekend. So basically, I know the first 2 times you were there, you filmed 3 matches each weekend, and you were doing stuff with Just Incredible, Aldo Montoya, and Tatanka. And I know a lot of people have often referenced Just Incredible as like a forgotten member of the Clique or something like that. What was it like working with him again? Because I mean, obviously, you all did stuff with X Factor.
I mean, it was fine. It's always good to see PJ. You know, all those guys. You know, I remember like I mean, Warlord and Barbarian, I think were there as well.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
They always get teams like they'll bring in Glacier, and they would bring in a lot of teams like that had some ties together. And I mean, did you think any certain thing when they said, by the way, Aldo and Tatanka?
No, because like honestly, nothing would surprise me with them, you know, them being that, you know, Chikara. I mean, because like almost anything works there. It's just that, you know, the one like, not to jump around, but we're still talking about Chikara. Sure. Quackenbush decided it was a good idea to bring Billy and I in as DX.
Yes.
But then when we got there, no one told Billy it's family friendly, and he's really strict about that. And of course, we, you know, do the suck it thing, and like everyone's going, oh no. And it's like, and Billy thinks everyone's joking. So he does it again. And oh my God. I'm like, this is the one place where they didn't want that, which really, like, why the fuck book DX then?
Yes. Yeah. Because for a while, they booked you with Marty. Yeah. Like several times they booked you with Marty.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I remember working with the Young Bucks as, you know, Marty and I versus the Young Bucks on a Chikara show. Yeah.
And the Heartthrobs too. I remember that one. And then you all were in the Battle Royal that did have Barbarian and Warlord. Like that seemed like a pretty deep cut to go back to you and Marty Jannetty, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That was because I mean, I was like, well, you've got DX members and you've teamed with so many different people.
And it was hard because Marty's ankle was really bad. And, you know, we're just trying to figure out ways around it. And like Marty was still great out there, but it was really like, man, it's sad, you know, it broke my heart, you know.
I mean, what he had left of it. Like I remember when I finally saw it, it was rough. And didn't he finally get that fixed like in the last few years or something?
Honestly, I don't know.
I
It's
hope he
so
did.
bad though. Like the only person I've ever seen with ankle that bad is Butch Miller from the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
So bad. But you know, since you wanted to talk about the subject, like I want to focus in a little bit on my match with Generico.
Oh, please.
Yeah, because it was, you know, like I was saying a little bit ago, I consider that my last great singles match. And yeah, he was great out there. And the thing is he did an interview recently. I think it was with Ryan Satin. I'm not 1,000% sure, but Sammy was talking about like different people. He's really cleaned their clock with that kick he does.
The haluva kick, yeah.
Yes, yeah, and I'm definitely one of them. I can confirm what he said. Like he boy, man, he cleaned my clock with it. And I think he got me with another one while I was on the apron to get me to the floor before he did this cabrada on me. But you know what? It was worth it. It was worth it. And you know, like I've been in that situation where working with guys like, you know, you really look up to.
Yeah.
And like the same thing happened in my match with Bret Hart. Like Bret will tell you, if you ask Bret, like a couple of those things that I hit him with in there, like a couple of those kicks and maybe even the leg drop off the top. I can't remember. It was one of those. But man, he said I gave him a couple of like the all-time greatest potatoes he's ever gotten. You know? So
I always wondered like what the margin of error was for your spin kick in the air, because I think that's the prettiest kick. Yeah. I think it's the prettiest kick in wrestling history.
Thanks.
And when that's specifically the move that I saw that I was like, I got to hunt down this CHIKARA show. It's 1, 2, 3 Kid doing that kick again. I got to see it. And it looked as good as ever. Like, how did you feel in there working as the 1, 2, 3 Kid? Did it affect you at all? Were you thinking different? Were you were working a little bit different? Anything like that?
Yes, I was working like the 1, 2, 3 Kid.
I love it.
I was going in there with that mindset, you know, putting a match together. I did, you know, like, because it would be easy to like fall back and like, oh, hey, let me get the Bronco Buster in right here. But, you know, it's not the right time or place for that.
Because I remember I would see, I think it was the flip, the Tope Kangiro over the top rope. And I was like, oh my God, that's another 1, 2, 3 Kid move right there.
And there was one part, sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
No, it's okay.
There was one part where, and I do this spot every now and then, like it's a good heat spot, really cut me off. Like we're on the floor and I think I did a dive to him and, you know, I got him into the corner post and I came charging and he popped me up over him. You know, you see that kind of thing, you know, here and there, but like I nutted myself on the post and then just took a bump to the floor. And that took a little bit out of me too. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But all those things, those are calculated risks, you know, like I went in thinking, you know, I'm going to come out of this match probably not feeling too good.
Yeah. And that was your last match of the weekend too, wasn't it?
Thank God.
So after that match is when you gave that speech and you were like, this might be it. What was going through your mind? And was it like, I don't know if I can top this anytime soon, or was your body just feeling it?
I was just in the moment. Sean. I was soaking everything in, all the love and, you know, all that coming at me. And then like one of the coolest things ever, moments ever for me, like that made me feel amazing was when I walked back through the curtain, like everybody in the locker room, the whole roster, everyone that was there, like standing ovation and just, you know, that's the kind of thing that really, man, it doesn't get any better than that when you're for us, you know.
And that crowd was screaming at you. You still got it and all that stuff like during that period. And obviously we mentioned them bringing you back a few more times as 1, 2, 3 Kid. I remember like you wrestled Hallow Wicked in like 2013, but you were Sean Waltman then, I think, instead of 1-2-3 Kid, and then you came back, as you said, with Billy Gunn as X-Pac. Did like something happen where you're like, yeah, no, it's time to move past the 1-2-3 Kid thing?
Yeah, because like I said, I told him that was it. That was the only time I was doing it, and I made an exception, you know. But I'm not 1-2-3 Kid doesn't have a beard, you know, and I don't walk around, you know, in my daily life without a beard anymore. You know, this is me. So, you know, sorry, like I know you might want to see 1-2-3 Kid, but I'm not shaving the fucking beard anymore.
Either before or after that, had you had people try to do the 1-2-3 Kid gimmick or book him?
No one even, you know, no one ever thought of it. And, you know, it's not surprising.
Which, I mean, that's the thing. You were always the same guy within kayfabe, but you had 4 different names or personalities that got over between Waltman, Six, X-Pac, and the 1-2-3 Kid. So, I mean, that's a very unique thing, into where you never portrayed a different human being. You were just, you were the same guy with different names.
Yeah. Thank you for putting it that way, because that's why I try to tell people, and they're like, what was your favorite gimmick? I'm like, I didn't really have a gimmick. Yeah. Like if there was ever any kind of a gimmick, it was the underdog gimmick first coming in, right? If you want to call anything a gimmick, but like, I wasn't, you know, I wasn't the mailman or the plumber, or like, I was the, you know, I was me.
Ron Artest and Meta World Peace are the same person. It's just different names. Yeah.
Yep.
And I would imagine it had to do with intellectual property, which leads me to another question. With CHIKARA bringing out 1-2-3 Kid, Aldo Montoya, Tatanka. I'm pretty sure Tatanka can use Tatanka wherever the hell he wants, but 1-2-3 Kid and Aldo Montoya, I know at one point were definite WWE intellectual properties. I don't know if they had lapsed or what, but was there any like question to that? Like, will I get in any trouble for this?
No, because they're pretty good about that stuff with me. And it was just, they weren't a big enough fish for, I think, WWE to worry about. And they just wanted to kind of let me do my thing, I think.
Yeah, because you would often hear about like Demolition getting the kibosh on that, which, I mean, that seems like a much different situation. They have often been litigious with WWE, and it doesn't seem like you've ever had that type of issue with them.
Yeah, no. Nope.
I've always wondered about that, because I remember just like seeing you out there in that, and of course the Generico match. That's what truly put him on my radar, because I wasn't really deep into the indies at that point, and I was like, well, who is this guy? And then I was like, well, we'll never see that again. And the next thing I know, you're working Jerry Lynn, Tommy Dreamer, and Scorpio.
Right.
So it's like,
I got to be honest with you. I wish I wouldn't have done that second one.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Man.
I should have just left it at that. Like after that Generico match, I should never have put on 1-2-3 Kid gear ever again.
So wait a second. You gave
but Mike
the first gear.
Quackenbush is really man, he really hard sell shit to you. Like you've heard him talk in the locker room, and you know he's very inspirational to his roster when he has those meetings, and you know. So I
got to ask as we wrap up. You said that you gave the gear to Colt Cabana the first time. Did you have to ask for it back, or did you have more gear made the second time?
Wow, I had more gear made. Yeah,
that is fantastic. So there are quite a few sets of 1-2-3 Kid gear out there.
Well, there's a couple, I guess, because I mean, I wasn't going to tell Colt to give me my 1-2-3 Kid gear back, unless I'm forgetting something and I had him like lend it to me. I don't think that's what happened.
I should ask him. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for letting me in on all this stuff. Like that was such a fun run too, and that's one of those things, like separate of Ring of Honor, and I had seen Human Tornado and Scorpio Sky have some dance-offs on the indies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that was like one of those things where it was a fun moment, but it was also a serious, like it wasn't comedy. It was just something from my childhood that I was like, wow, this is working and it's really good.
Yeah. That was the thing about CHIKARA at the time that was so cool about it. Like you could have that, and you could also have all the other things that CHIKARA has to offer.
Yeah, because I mean, across the ring from you was Scorpio, and Too Cold Scorpio was one of my original favorite wrestlers.
Oh my God, incredible!
So I would
That's
see
amazing.
that.
That guy's incredible, Sean. Like, to get, I know I'm kind of veering off here, but I mean, and I don't think he's ever actually been a junior heavyweight. Like,
No.
Two Gold Scorpio is a big man.
240.
To move like that. At his lightest, he's 240.
Like, people don't realize he's like
his ass weighs 240.
He weighs more than Stipe Miocic, a UFC heavyweight champion, does. Former UFC heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
man.
hey, Sean. Hey, man. I really appreciate you coming on to talk with me about that. I appreciate your choice of topics.
Oh, I
because,
love it.
there are certain ones that people would automatically go to, like, the invasion, the this,
Yeah.
and that. But, like, I love talking about stuff that a lot of people don't bring up.
Learning is my favorite part of this job. And every time I've seen that clip, I was like, I got to know everything about that.
Oh, right on. And, hey, man, and also I'm very grateful. You've always been real supportive, of X-Pac 1-2-360 in the past and, of everything I do. So I appreciate that.
Hey,
man.
I mean, if nothing else.
One more thing. Thank you. Denise Salcedo's killing it with you guys.
I was about to say that. If nothing else, Denise Salcedo was I found out who she was because of 1-2-360. She would send the transcripts in. She would be on your show. And first show I had with her, I was like, yep, this is the one. This is the girl that we want on our team as much as possible.
Yep. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I mean, you've helped so many people in wrestling, not just in the ring, but in wrestling media too, get their voices out there. And I don't think enough has been said about that. There's a whole lot of people that get a platform to exist in this space because of you and learning from you. So I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you, Sean. All right, everybody. Here we are again with Tic-Tac-Toehold. This is the playoffs from last week. We didn't have a winner last week, so I want to thank them for coming back again this week. Let me just bring the contestants in right now. First, he's from Chicago, Illinois. He's a comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, E.J. Cameron. What's up, E.J.?
What's happening, Sean?
Wow, I actually got that right.
You did it, man. I love it.
Woo, that was take 2. You should see the first take. Actually, I don't want you to see the first take.
What first take? That was the take.
I'm always pretty honest about my shit. So, anyways, his opponent coming to us from across the Atlantic Ocean, all the way from Dublin, Ireland. Oh, Jesus Christ. I got alerts going off, all kinds of shit. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, from Dublin, Ireland, please welcome Gerard Bowes.
Great.
What's up, Gerard?
Great. Oh, it's great to be back, Sean. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you, man.
This is like the Flair Steamboat series of Tic-Tac-Toehold.
I hope not. Oh, actually, we had two. Actually, we had 2 rounds last week, right?
Yeah, technically.
So this is the 3rd final round. Okay.
With a the cream of the crop.
All right. So yes, it is kind of Steamboat Flairish in that way.
You're going down, Gerard.
Don't feel like doing the job today, EJ.
Hey, so how about we find out what the categories are for today? I don't even know what they are. All right, everybody. Here are the categories for this round of Tic-Tac-Toehold. In the upper left-hand square, we have WWE WrestleMania 37. In the upper middle square, we have Fiendish Questions. In the upper right square, we have Evolution. It's a mystery. Okay, in the left middle square, we have Mixed Pro Wrestling Arts. And in the center square, we have It's Gotta Be Kane. On the middle right square, we have New Age Trivia. Bottom left square, we have Uncle Cracker. The fuck? Bottom middle, Infamous Ribs. Oh, Jesus Christ. The fuck. I didn't read any of these fucking questions either. So, all right. In the bottom right square, we have Hometown Pride. You guys ready?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hey, how do we figure out who goes first? Because you guys like nobody was like we didn't have a winner last week. It was 1-1. All right. So how do we do this? Rock paper scissors, you guys do it. Rock paper scissors.
All right,
Ready?
here we go. Rock, paper, scissors.
1, 2, 3, go.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Gerard wins with rock. EJ had scissors. You should always go with rock. Well, I don't know because somebody could pull out paper.
Paper, you never know. The tinker
And what do you do then?
All right, Gerard. What do you say?
Some interesting new categories. I'll go for the middle. It's got to be Kane.
It's got to be Kane. All right. Okay, everybody. What city is Glenn Jacobs the mayor of? Actually, it's not really a city, but do you know the answer to that?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh, I don't know, man. We need a judge in here because, like, technically, I need some help in here. Could somebody pop in,
Michael's
please?
more of a Politico than me. It's Knox County, right?
It's in Knoxville.
Yeah, like I don't want to be a dick. Like this isn't fucking Jeopardy. Like where there's like, you got, Yeah, but I just can't give it to you.
No.
I just don't know if I can give it to you. I don't. That's why I need some help. That's why I need some fucking help in here with the. Like I need a judge to weigh in on this.
It's not right. I'll help you.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed. So I don't have to be the fucking dick. Thank you. All right, Gerard. Sorry about that, man.
No worries.
You are wrong. You are incorrect. Okay, EJ.
I'm going to go with Evolution. It's a mystery.
Evolution. It's a mystery. All right. Okay. Here's your question, EJ. What was the main event of WWE Evolution?
It was.
No Googling, bro.
I don't even have a way to Google.
Okay. Dude, looking at your phone.
I think the computer screen behind him.
My phone is right here.
Okay.
Man, I'm gonna go with Io Shirai versus Tony Storm. All right.
Okay. Apparently, it was Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella. I did not know that.
All right. Yeah, I know that. Okay.
Did you know this? Does that sound right?
Now that you said, yeah, I was like, Evolution was one of those pay-per-views that's kind of like the random ones. I was like, which one is?
Hey, EJ, I just want to apologize for insinuating that you might be cheating.
Yeah, how dare you, man? I'm over here thinking you're like, hey, I was like,
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit. All right. Okay. So nobody's on the board yet. Gerard?
I'll go for Infamous Ribs.
Infamous Ribs. Okay, here we go. What pickled vegetable? No, it's not. That's not how it goes. It's not. They're not pickled. All right. What vegetable did Owen Hart find funny rubbing an Undertaker's face during a match?
Was it cucumber?
Correct. The story is that Undertaker, I don't like he doesn't say he's like allergic to cucumbers, but yeah, it's just like it's one of those things, where he hates them. He fucking hates cucumbers. Like that's heat. Like that's heat getting shit. That's not a fucking funny joke.
oh wow.
I didn't give a fuck.
Wasn't there one? I don't know if you told that story before, but it was one about sardines that Owen did, was it? But
no, that was Brett. That Owen did that to
That was Brett. I did it, Brett.
Yeah, it was the same rib, but it was sardines instead of cucumbers.
That was great.
So, okay. Gerard on the board in the bottom middle square. Okay, EJ.
I'm going to go with It's Gotta Be Kane.
It's got to be Kane. Okay, here we go. In the middle square. What was the name of the In Your House pay-per-view that Kane debuted at?
Bad Blood.
Correct. Nice. See, I wouldn't know that kind of that's impressive, EJ.
With no Google. Look at that.
Yes. It's nice of you not to cheat, EJ.
You know, I'm proud not to, man. I only cheat on diet.
So, what do you say, Gerard?
I'll try Hometown Pride.
Hometown Pride in the bottom right-hand square. Minnesota is known as the land of.
Oh.
Wow, man, that's brutal
Is
for
it
you
like-
because. Go ahead.
Is it lakes?
It's 10,000 lakes. Sorry. That's a tough one for you, bro. I know because, like, you know, yeah, I honestly, I don't expect you to get that. Sorry, dude.
I live in America, and I'm like, nah.
You come on, dude. Like you live in the Midwest. I would expect you to get that, EJ.
I was going to say Vikings, so don't ask me, man.
Holy shit. Okay. All right. Okay, so EJ.
I'm going to go with Mixed Pro Wrestling Arts.
Mixed Pro Wrestling Arts. Mixed Pro Wrestling Arts. Okay. True or false? Undertaker has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
False.
Apparently that's true. I did not know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Huh.
You know, like that's crazy because it takes over 10 years to get a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
So that's why I was really shocked.
I was like confident. I was like, no, false.
I mean, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like you take Taekwondo or karate, like they'll give you a fucking black belt as long as you pay, you know, pay your dues every month and stick around for a couple of years. But man, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that's like a 10-year deal, man, to get a black belt.
Yeah.
And that's like, I mean, if you're like going seriously training and not, you know, not just going and doing it as a hobby, like on the, you know, once or twice a week or whatever. But wow, that's impressive.
Noted.
Yeah, man. So, okay.
Do I dare go back with Hometown Pride? It's either that or Uncle Cracker, so I'll go back with Hometown Pride.
Okay, back to Hometown Pride. Okay. Jesus Christ. What is the Minnesota state bird? I mean, who the fuck is going to get this? I don't think Minnesotans get this. I didn't know this. Come on, man. Don't be stupid, Gerard.
Yeah.
Don't be a fucking dumbass.
Bluebird.
What?
A bluebird.
No, sorry, man. Sorry. God, you're so fucking stupid. Can't believe you didn't get that. I didn't know it either, man, to be honest with you. And I'm a Minnesotan.
Anyway.
Apparently it was a loon.
Oh.
Common loon. All right.
That's
God, how could you not get that, Gerard?
no.
Yeah, come on, Gerard.
So disappointed in you.
I didn't prep for the
Shit.
words of Minnesota.
All right. Okay, EJ.
You know what? I got to humor you, too. I'm going to go with Hometown Pride.
Hometown Pride.
Shit, man.
My due diligence to see what I know about Minnesota.
I thought this was like, you know, different hometowns and different wrestlers or stuff. But
Me too.
All right, here we go. Jesus. Okay, I'll just read it how it sounds. Okay, the state of Minnesota is currently in court against which police officer?
Oh man. Ha!
Oh,
Read her name today.
holy shit, EJ.
I
You
know.
better fucking get this.
Cooper.
Holy fuck, man. I can't believe you didn't get that.
I know this one.
I just read it earlier. Ah,
Holy
man.
shit.
No, wait. No. I'm playing. I know this. Derek Chauvin.
Oh my God. Thank God, dude. I don't know how you'd
Cooper
be
was
able
the
to
first
show.
answer, I think.
Like, honestly, I don't know how you'd be able to show your
All the
fucking face
police
if you didn't get
murders,
that
man.
right.
I was confusing the other police murder. My bad.
Oh, okay. Oh. Ooh-wee. That's a close one, EJ.
Yeah, I was sitting there like, man, I should know this. Man, I truly thought it was the most recent one that happened.
So you got that one. Man, I'm so proud of you, EJ.
Isn't that what they call a false finish there? Did I do that? Is that how you do
Man,
it?
it was.
I think it was a screw job finish more like it.
It was like it was a.
You said Cooper.
I was thinking,
I
I was driving a Mini Cooper to the answer in my brain. Work with me here, Gerard.
All right, you guys.
I gotta go WrestleMania 37 for the block.
Okay. WrestleMania 37 for the block. Which superstar saw themselves humiliated at the hands of the Bella Twins at WrestleMania 37?
Was it Bailey?
Correct.
Damn.
Ding, 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 ding.
For a second, I was like,
Sorry, I forgot sound effects up until now. Ding, 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 ding. Boy, people are going to be sick of this fucking game after this. Thank God we're putting Tic-Tac-Toehold to rest for a little while we bring out a new game. I mean, Tic-Tac-Toehold's over. We want to keep it that way.
yeah. Keep it going.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right, you guys.
I'm gonna go with New Age trivia.
New Age trivia. Okay, here we go. New Age trivia. In the right middle square. Okay, what was the name of the stable that Kip and BG James debuted in TNA in 2008?
VKM, also known as Voodoo Kin Mafia.
You are correct.
Hey.
Very nice. Nice one, EJ.
Switch.
Okay.
Again, I'll have to go for the block. So Mixed Pro Wrestling Arts.
Whew.
This
It's
is-
Pro Wrestling Arts. Okay, for the block. How many times has Brock Lesnar been WWE champion?
I'm gonna go with 6.
I'm sorry, Gerard. The correct answer is 5.
Damn.
So sorry.
It was one or the other, and I was like, oh.
All right. So, EJ, you have 2 choices. You can win in 2 different ways.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, yeah. I missed that. Actually, it was over there too. So
It's okay. This is the best I've ever done at tic-tac-toe. I'm gonna go with Evolution. It's a mystery.
It's
What I
tic-tac.
started with, I'm gonna end with for the
Okay.
W.
By the way, that's Tic-Tac-Toehold to you, EJ.
You're right. Tic-tac-toe-hold.
Thank you. Okay. All right. For the win. Again, for the win. Okay, here we go. Singer Lizzie Hale opened WWE Evolution alongside what Alice Cooper guitarist?
Frig. Come on. Alice Cooper guitarist. Slash.
Nope. It's
Nina Strauss.
Yeah, Anita Strauss.
Oh, why can't I get those questions?
You know, I'm
Right.
no.
Come on, you guys. We gotta wrap this up.
Got
We need somebody to win here.
I'll go back mixed pro wrestling arts.
Okay. What UFC Hall of Famer guest refereed an ROH match between Bryan Danielson and Low Ki in 2002? Take a fucking guess,
I
Gerard.
just gotta say T.O. Ortiz. I don't know.
Sorry, man. The answer is Ken Shamrock.
Shamrock.
Well, Shamrock.
All right.
All right, I'm
Oh,
gonna
shit.
follow up with mixed pro wrestling arts as well. I'm gonna do that.
I mean, I'm gonna have to make up a fucking question out of nowhere then, because we
All
don't
right,
have any more questions.
Evolution.
Oh my God. What superstar was initially replaced by Batista as a member of Evolution?
Mark Jindrak.
You win. Thank God. EJ Cameron is the winner, everybody.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Hey, Gerard. Hey, man. Gerard, I want to thank you, man. And you had some really tough questions that I didn't expect you to get, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
I
were
know I
tough
called
ones.
you. I know I called you a fucking dumbass and stupid and all that shit. But like, I'm almost like 100% sure you know I was just joking, right?
Absolutely no.
So your feelings aren't
Didn't take it
hurt.
personal.
Okay, your feelings aren't hurt. It was just for entertainment purposes. Hey, man, Gerard, I want to thank you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming back on
It's been
for a second time.
cool.
And
That
us,
was really good.
hey, my love to everyone in Ireland. Man, I had a great time over there. Hope to come back again one day.
Hopefully, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Hope to see you.
And
again soon.
EJ, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, and thank you, Gerard, man. You're tough. You're tough.
No, you. It's been cool. Good
Hey,
battle.
so maybe when we do Tic-Tac-Toehold again, you could be the defending champ, EJ.
I would love to.
Okay.
We can have a
All right,
rematch.
man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the end. I'm sorry, but we're at the end of this edition of Tic-Tac-Toehold. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you right here next week. I think maybe with another game show, or maybe not. All right, folks. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Pro Wrestling for Life. I want to thank Sean Ross Sapp. I want to thank my dear friend, the Total Package, Lex Luger. I want to thank you, Nick, and all of you. So, is there anything that I need to say that I haven't said already before we say goodbye to everyone?
Here's what I'm going to say, Sean. Next week, we had a lot of great guests. I mean, we started off with Ric Flair, right? We had Lex Luger today. Next week's guest is somebody that's, let's just say, a little more mainstream. You may have seen him recently. I think rather than announcing them here at the end of the show, I'll say that Monday, about an hour before Raw, we'll announce who next week's guest is there, so everybody can go check it out. We can all find out together at a big, exciting surprise moment. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds great. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And we'll do that too with the journalist who's coming next week, because this, again, Lex and Sean banger show. We'll do it over on socials at ProRes4 Life. Go subscribe to us over on Twitter. Great way for everybody to just have some fun here on Monday before Raw.
Yes.
Of course, like we said, the Pro Wrestling for Life Patreon page up and running right now. Nearly full archives of X-Pac 12360. Full archives, I'm sure, by the end of the weekend. Extended interviews, and we're going to announce some fun new stuff that we're going to roll out of the Patreon here starting next month here in about a week or
Yeah,
so.
you can be a Patreon member for the cost of a cup of coffee a month. I mean, maybe a Starbucks coffee, but a cup of coffee nonetheless.
Not even like the biggest Starbucks coffee.
Right.
Just,
Venti or not Venti, Grande or whatever.
yeah.
Maybe the middle size.
Go check out our Pro Wrestling Tea store. We'll have a new shirt up there as well. But that's really about everybody. I'm at House Rebel, HAUS Rebel over on Twitter. And if you like me on this show, Monday through Friday, I do the Wrestling Inc. Daily. You can hear me talk about the news with fun people and other folks out there. I never mention that enough. I feel like I should give that love on this platform as well, Sean. So
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
All right. Thank you. All right, well, that's all I got. What do you want to say here to wrap up the show?
I just want to say, once again, maybe sound redundant. Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Pro Wrestling for Life. life.